Hello everyone and welcome to November 9th, which means only one thing. It is the birthday of the great magician of Mikhail Tal, the Pirate of Riga, the protector and guardian of this channel. And I really tried hard to choose a nice game for you guys, and who better to show it from than Daniil Dubov, also one of the modern magicians that are very active and are playing at the elite level. And it's a game from the tie breaks. The two classical games ended in a draw, then the two rapid games ended in a draw, and this is now the third game of the rapids. We're going to check out the game, and then we're going to discuss who did what against who and who will face who in round 4. So let's check it out. It's a beautiful game. Daniil with white opens with pawn to e4. We have pawn to e5, knight to c3, and knight to f6. And yeah, Tal was born in 1936. So in 11 years, that will be 100 years since the birth of the great magician, which, talking about Tal and covering Tal's games really doesn't feel that way. But yeah, it's been a long time. We have bishop to c4. Daniil goes for the Stanley variation of the Vienna. We have knight captures on e4. This is the so-called, at least today, it's called the Frankenstein-Dracula variation, where black is inviting white to capture on e4, and then black will play d5. So it's a pretty standard idea, and black is always better here. But Daniil, of course, knows this. He plays queen to h5, and now it seems like you're having some issues here. Your checkmate is being threatened on f7, and also queen captures on e5. And you can't really play queen e7. It seems to defend both, but now you can just capture the knight, as there's no queen to help out with the advancement of the pawn to d5. So after queen h5, luckily this is still all theory, knight to d6, attacking the bishop, defending f7, and also if queen captures on e5, just queen e7, the queens come off the board, and no problems there. But Daniil just goes back, bishop to b3, and now knight to c6. And here, probably a move Georg wasn't really expecting, as he spent 2 minutes for knight to c6, which is a lot of time, as this is a 10-minute rapid game. We have knight b5. Now putting pressure on that c7 pawn, the queen can't really be developed, and pawn to g6, chasing away the white queen. We have queen f3 and knight to f5. Again, you had to defend that checkmate on f7. We have queen to d5. If someone told you that you can play queen h5, queen f3, queen to d5, and we're only on move 8, you'd probably think that it was a total beginner. But no, it's actually Daniil Dubov, one of the best players in the world. But interestingly, we are following a game that was played in year 1900 between two players that I'm sure you have heard of. So knight h6, defending checkmate, and of course now pawn to d4, preparing captures, eliminating the defender of f7, and then Daniil wants to capture on f7. So pawn to d6, inviting bishop captures. What is this? Seems like you're blundering a piece here, but not really. Bishop captures and bishop to e6, attacking the queen, and only once the queen moves will the bishop be recaptured. So queen back to f3, and bishop captures on h6. And, sorry, not captures on h6. First, bishop captures on b3. This has to be played. Bishop captures on f8, and now comes the new move of the game, but not really. Like I said, the position has been reached in the year 1900 between Jacques Missis and Amos Byrne, and the game ended with black winning the game. In that game, bishop to a4 was played. Doesn't really matter because both bishop to a4 and bishop to c4 are aimed at the knight on b5, so we will transpose back into that game again. Here, Daniil played bishop to c4, and it's sort of a new game, but not really, because we transpose bishop to g7, and now bishop captures on b5. And now we get to the point of deviation where in the game, after bishop captures on b5, Jacques Missis played bishop captures on h8, which is not a great move. Knight captures on d4, attacks the queen, threatens knight captures on c2, and other than queen to f6, you really don't have a good move here. And black in the end won. It's still playable, but not great. Daniil played the absolute best move, d captures on e5, and it is now, as of move 14, that we really have a completely new game. Okay, how do you deal with this? This is the question. So the situation on the clock isn't that crazy. 5 minutes for Daniil, 3.5 minutes for Georg. So definitely playable. And the question is, do you save the rook or do you do something else? In the game, rook to g8 was played. Just for fun, I'm going to show knight captures on e5 because, well, it's kind of the first move you also think of, as it comes with a tempo on the queen. Here we would see queen b3 attacking the bishop, and now bishop to c6. This is the only move that does not lose for black. And now after after bishop captures on h8, bishop captures on g2, pawn to f4, you attack the knight, knight to d7, and now castles queenside. Bishop captures on h1, rook to e1 check, and king to f8, followed by knight to h3. And again, you have to find a series of unique moves that keep black in the game. Here, bishop to c6 is well, just loses the game. You have to give up the bishop. There's no way for you to save it. If you actually try that, then just knight g5, and there is no way to defend the mate. Nothing. You cannot go to e7. You cannot go to f6. So the only move you would have here is king g8 to kick away the bishop, and some sorcery moves like this. But yeah, it's expected when following a game that was played in the year 1900. But here, rook to g8 was played by Georg Meier, and now bishop to f6. Daniil attacks the black queen, knight captures on e5, a counterattack on Daniil's queen on f3, and bishop captures on e5. We have queen e7, now ready to recapture with the pawn most likely, castles queenside, and now bishop to c6. First attacking the queen before recapturing, because you don't want to give up that b7 pawn. Queen to c3, and only now d captures on e5. Of course, as black, you were very interested in trading queens because you're up a pawn, but rook e1 wins the black queen. So after queen c3, d captures on e5, and now knight to f3. We have pawn to f6, very nicely played. It is the best move, and here you actually can play it, and you absolutely must play it. Rook h to e1, and now king to f8, trying to get the king to safety somehow, castle artificially, and then get the other rook into the game. But here, Daniil doesn't just start an attack with h4 or g4. No, he goes for knight captures on e5. He says, I know the position is equal, but I want it to be equal on my terms. And okay, you have to capture. There's really no other way to react to this. F captures, and now rook captures on e5. And it's not an easy position because you have, sort of a minute and 20 seconds on the clock, and there's only one move that doesn't lose the game terribly. So what would you play here as black? Could you defend this position? I'll give you a minute and a half. Try and solve it. So if you found queen to h4, then congratulations. This is the only move that keeps black in the game. And now after, let's say, g3, you will have this one check. And after rook to e3, or if you move the king, then even black is better. Then you can just go rook g7, and white really has nothing. After rook to e3, preparing rook f3, if the bishop moves, somehow, then, and also just queen f6, mate in 1, then g6. The queen defends the f6 square, and it still looks ugly. I mean, you have to cover all of the space here, and not blunder something with black. So probably if anyone wins this, it's white, but you can play it. You are up a piece. If you don't get checkmated, you're still up a piece. But after rook captures on e5, Georg did not find it. He played queen to f6, and here he runs into, well, just a game over sequence of moves. So once again, feel free to pause the video and win the game for Daniil while I give you a couple of seconds. Yes, the move that wins, believe it or not, rook to e8 with check. This is what Daniil played, and one more move was played, and then Georg Meier resigned the game. Now, you cannot capture the rook. That's out of the question, as the queen on f6 is undefended, so you're going to lose the queen. King f7 was played, and now comes the move that, is tricky. Or you can play queen b3 or queen c4. It's important to give a check on this diagonal, and he was in this position on move 24 that Georg Meier resigned the game, as there is nothing more to be done here. So, obviously, you don't want to capture the rook and give up the rook on g8, but what else is there? If you go king g7, then queen captures on g8. You have to run, and then rook captures on a8, and you're down in exchange and the full rook, and with zero compensation. So the only thing you could do is play king captures, but now look at this. Queen captures on g8 with check, king to e7, you're going to go rook to e1 with check, king to d7, or wherever, doesn't really matter. You're going to capture the rook here, and now you're just up material, and also zero counterplay for black. Let's say queen captures on f2, you're already getting checkmated. Queen e8 check, king to d6, queen e5 check, king goes to d7, queen to e6 check, king to d8, and now rook to d1 check. And once you give up everything, then it's just going to be a nice queen d7 checkmate. So yeah, it was a great fight, a great match. 2 classical games drawn, then 2 rapid games drawn. Then Daniil wins his rapid game with white, and then the other game was a draw. So that means Daniil Dubov eliminates Georg Meier and goes into round 4 of the FIDE World Cup, where he faces none other than Pragnananda. So yes, we are getting a Pragnananda Dubov match. I'm pretty sure everyone will want to see that. Hopefully they play all 8 games, but, we can only dream. Although, I don't know. I want to see a great classical game, like maybe an exchange of wins in classical, and then they still go into tie breaks. But yeah, who knows what will happen. And here, as promised, here are the results and pairings for round 4. So as you can see, Gukesh lost. Gukesh lost Frederick Svane. It was a brilliant game by Frederick. Gukesh also played really well, but Frederick just played, just an incredible game, and he eliminated the world champion. And Shan Sargsyan defeated Mustafa Yilmaz, so it will be Frederick Svane versus Shan Sargsyan in round 4. Yuan Yi eliminated Narayanan Lina, and Javo Kristindarov eliminated Nicolas Teodoru. I was hoping for Nicolas to do really well and to maybe even qualify for the candidates, but we will not be seeing another pirate in the candidates. Or maybe we will, just not Nicolas. Shahriar Mamedyarov also got eliminated. Not sure if you guys were aware of this. Nils Grandelius defeated him. Pentala Hare Krishna, he eliminated Daniil Darthal, so it's going to be Hare Krishna versus Nils Grandelius. Then we have Jordan Pamforest versus Alexis Arana. Alexei was better in tiebreaks and eliminated Jordan, and Jose Martinez Alcantara eliminated Nodirbek Abdusatoro. So it's going to be Alexis Arana versus Jose Martinez. Then we have Titas Stremavicius, who eliminated Wesley So, got eliminated by Pranav, and Nodirbek Yakubuev eliminated Van. So it's going to be Yakubuev versus Pranav in round 4. Then we have Awander Liang, who eliminated Rasmus Svane, Frederick's brother. And then we have Gabriel Sargsyan, who eliminated Deepta Angyosh, who eliminated none other than Yanni Pomnishi. So it's going to be Gabriel Sargsyan versus Awander Liang, and it's going to be Liam Le, who eliminated Jeffrey Xiong, versus Kartik Venkataraman, who eliminated Bogdan Daniel Dak. Then we have Matthias Blubam, who eliminated Ivan Zemlyansky, will face Alexander Donchenko, who eliminated none other than Anish Giri. Pragnananda eliminated Robert Hovhannisyan, and he will face Daniil Dubov, who eliminated Georg Meier. So one of the matchups that I'm very, very much looking forward to. Sam Shankland eliminated Vidit Gujarati, and he will face Riyad Rapport, who eliminated the young Turkish phenom, Yavuzkhan Erdomush. I was watching the entire match, and Rapport, he just showed his class. Yavuzkhan played an incredible match, but Rapport was just a class above. Even in that final game where he was sort of lost and, was just playing so quickly, equalized, and having won the previous game, it was enough to win the match. MVL, he and Artemiev played it all the way, but in the end, MVL was able to take down Chuck Norris, and he will face Alexei Gremnev, who eliminated Stamatis Kourokulos Arditis. Andrei Yesipenko eliminated Puya Idani, and will face none other than Vincent Keimer, who eliminated Pranesh. And we have Wei Yi, who eliminated Benjamin Gledura, will face Parham Maksudlu, who eliminated Ivan Šarić. Sam Seven eliminated Evgeny Nair, and will face Lorenzo Lodici, who eliminated Michael Adams. Lorenzo, although it was the first time we featured him on the channel in his game against Hans Niemann, already eliminated both Hans Niemann and Michael Adams. That's pretty incredible. So we will have Sam Sevian versus Lorenzo Lodici. Then Levon Aronyan eliminated Saleh Salem, who, was playing incredible chess. That game against Abhimanyu Mishra was spectacular. And will face Radoslav Wojtaszek, who eliminated Vladimir Fedosev, just, 2-0, beating Fedosev in classical 2-0. That's incredible. But yeah, Levon will face Radoslav Wojtaszek. We'll have Peter Leko, who defeated Kirill Alexeyenko, also 2-0. Leko, pretty incredible. Sorry about not showing any Leko games so far. There are so many games being played. I know you guys love Leko. I love Leko. A huge fan, and very much looking forward to seeing what he does, and definitely will cover what he does, because next round he faces Arjun Erigaisi. Arjun defeated Shamsuddin Vokidov, and we will have Peter Leko versus Arjun Erigaisi. And yes, Arjun is world number 4, world number 5, depending on the day, but Peter Leko is Peter Leko, and anything can happen there, really anything. So yeah, those are the results of round 3 and the pairings for round 4. Hope you enjoyed that, and some incredible matches. Very much looking forward to covering it, and I will try to cover as much as possible. Really hope you guys enjoyed it. I would like to thank Deepak Gangadharan, Udo Brandt, Leo Teruna Loomis, Eddie Sphere, and David Kasparian for a contribution to my channel. Thank you a lot. I really appreciate it. As usual, you can check 2 of my previous videos here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon, continuing to check up on your wonderful suggestions and whatever else happens in the chess world. So thank you all. I will see you soon, and have an excellent rest of your day. And if you also want to learn how to play against this magician, that magician, or some magician from the distant past, first link in the description below. Download Lotus Chess and start learning some crazy lines today. See you soon.